Chapter 7. Starting with Scratch. Scratch. Scratch is a programming language developed by MIT. In Scratch, you can create your own interactive stories, games, and animations using building blocks. You do not need to write code to perform operations, as things are done just by dragging and dropping of the blocks. Uses of Scratch. Common uses of Scratch are: it is a visual programming language. There is an online community of Scratch that allows you to create interactive stories, animations, and games. It is widely used in schools to introduce young learners to the basics of coding and computational thinking. It develops problem-solving skills, creativity, and logical reasoning. Starting Scratch. To open Scratch, follow these steps. Step 1. Click on the Start menu. Step 2. Scroll down to letter S. Step 3. Click on Scratch. A Scratch window opens up. Or, you can also type Scratch in search bar. Components of Scratch window. A Scratch window has various components. Tab. Green flag button. Stop button. Script area. Block menu. New sprite button. Title bar. Stage control buttons. Sprite. Sprite into pane. New backdrop button. Block palette. Add extension. Title bar. It is located at the top of the Scratch window and contains the name of the program. Tabs. There are mainly 3 tabs. 1. Code tab. It displays all the code blocks like motion block, looks block, event blocks, sound blocks, sensing blocks, pen blocks, control blocks, operations block, variables block, and my blocks appear here. 2. Costumes tab. It is used for appearance of the sprite and the backdrops. Is done in this tab. 3. Sounds tab. You can add sounds to your project by using this tab, and you can also change the sounds as per your need. Go button. Go button is used to start your project or run your Scratch program. It is depicted by a green flag. Stop button. Just beside the green flag, there is a red button, also called stop button, which is used to stop running your Scratch program. Block menu. It displays the categories of blocks based on their functions and their uses. All blocks in the Code tab are present here. Blocks palette. This displays all the categories of blocks available in the form of colorful dots. The blocks are divided into different categories. Block. Category description. Motion. These blocks are used to control the movement, direction, placement, and rotation of a sprite. Looks. These blocks are used to control the appearance of sprite, to change the costume of a sprite, and to show some text on the stage. Sound. This category has the blocks to play and control various sounds. Events. This category has blocks that take a decision on the execution of a code or when an event is triggered. Control. This category has blocks to control the execution of a script. Sensing. It includes blocks to enter input and detect actions. Operators. This category has blocks to perform the mathematical calculations. Variables. It includes blocks to create and perform actions on variables. My block. This category of blocks allows to create your own blocks in Scratch. Script. In Scratch, programs are made by joining together colored blocks of instructions. These groups of blocks are called scripts. They tell characters on the screen what to do. Stage area. The stage window is the main area where the action of your program takes place. Sprite. A sprite is an image that can be programmed to move, respond to events, and interact with other sprites. Sprites can be created from Scratch or imported from files on your computer. The background automatically appears after you select the picture. Sprite Info pane. It is located just below the stage area. All the details about sprites used and backdrop used are shown here. You can add, delete, see the name and location, and other details like increasing and decreasing the sprite size, changing, or adding a backdrop from here. Backdrop. It is the background of the stage. Add extension. This button allows you to add the pen block and the other advanced blocks that are used to control various devices. Blocks. Coding blocks in Scratch are the fundamental building blocks of programming. They are visual elements that represent different programming commands or instructions. By snapping these blocks together, you can create a sequence of actions for your sprites to perform in your Scratch projects. Let's explore the different types of coding blocks in Scratch. Motion blocks. These blocks control the movement and positioning of sprites on the stage. They are blue-colored blocks. They include blocks for moving a certain number of steps, turning the sprite, changing its X and Y coordinates, and more. Name of the block. Block. Description. Move. Move 10 steps. This block moves the sprite in the direction it is facing by the number of specified steps. Turn clockwise. Turn 15 degrees. This block rotates the sprite in the clockwise direction by the specified degrees of angle. Turn anticlockwise. Turn 15 degrees. This block rotates the sprite in the anticlockwise direction by the specified degrees of angle. Point in direction. Point in direction 90. This block points the sprite in different directions. Looks blocks. These blocks are used to add speech and dialogues, or thought bubbles. They are purple-colored blocks. You can also change the appearance of the sprite by using these blocks. Name of the block. Block. Description. Say hello. Say hello for 2 seconds. This block has 2 types. A. It will display say hello for allotted time. B. It will say hello. Think hum. Think hum for 2 seconds. This block has 2 types. A. It will make sprite think. Hum for allotted time. B. It will think hum. Switch costume. This block will let you change the costume of the sprite. Switch backdrop. Switch backdrop to backdrop 1. This block will let you change the backdrop of the stage. Events blocks. These blocks control the starting and stopping of scripts based on events. Examples include the when green flag clicked block, which starts a script when the green flag is clicked, and the when key pressed block, which triggers an action when a specific key is pressed. Without this block, no program will run. Block. Description. When clicked. This block runs a script when the green flag is clicked. When space key pressed. This block runs blocks under it when the specified key is pressed. When this sprite clicked. This block runs a script when the sprite is clicked. When I receive message 1. This block runs a script when a specific message is received by a sprite. Broadcast message 1. This block allows the sprite to send messages without any pauses in the scripts. Broadcast message 1 and wait. This block allows the sprite to send messages and wait for a specified time. Working with sprites. You can change and add new sprites as per your choice. Let us learn how to do this. Adding a sprite. To add a sprite, follow these steps. Step 1. Click on the Choose a sprite. Step 2. A window will open with various sprite options. You can select a sprite by clicking on it. Changing the appearance of a sprite. To change the appearance, costume of a sprite, follow these steps. Step 1. Click on the sprite you want to modify in the sprite list. Step 2. Click on Fill and Outline options 2. Change the colors. Changing the backdrop. To change the background of your project, follow these steps. Step 1. Click on the Choose a Backdrop button below the stage. Step 2. A window will open with different backdrop options. Click on a backdrop to select it. Step 3. The selected backdrop will replace the current one on the stage. Creating a Scratch project with motion block. To create a Scratch project with a moving sprite, follow these steps. Step 1. Add a sprite and desired background to your project using the steps already learned. Step 2. In the Blocks palette, drag the block and attach it to the scripting area. Step 3. Drag the Move 10 steps block and attach it below the previous block. Step 4. Click on 10 and change it to 20 to specify how much you want your sprite to move. Step 5. Click on the Looks block and drag the Speech bubble block to the coding area and below the previous blocks. Step 6. Click on the green flag above the stage to start the movement of your sprite. Art integration. Create a beautiful princess story in Scratch using the basic blocks and interesting sprites and backdrop. Fact zone. You can also upload a backdrop or a sprite from the files saved on your computer. Creating a new project. The steps to create a new project are as follows. 1. Click on the File menu. 2. Select the New option. A new project opens. Saving a project. You can save your work anytime by following the steps given below. Step 1. Click on the File tab. Step 2. Select the Save to your computer option. Step 3. The Save As dialog box opens. In the File Name field, type the name of the file. Step 4. Click on Save button. The Scratch 3 file gets saved with a .sb3 extension. Opening a project. The steps to open a saved project are as follows. Step 1. Click on the File tab. Step 2. Select the Load from your computer option. Step 3. The Open dialog box opens. Browse the file that you wish to open and select it. Step 4. Click on Open. Closing Scratch. To close the Scratch window, click on the Close button on the top right corner of the window. Note: if your file is saved, the window gets closed. But, if the file is not saved, a dialog box opens asking you to stay or leave the page. If you do not wish to save the file, click on Leave. Otherwise, click on Stay and save the file and then close the window. In summary, Scratch is used to create interactive stories, animations, and games. Blocks are used to make the sprite or the character act. You can create a new project, save a project, and open an existing project. The Close button is used to exit the window.